Hi, I'm Jalen Rose, and welcome to the Renaissance Man podcast, proudly presented by the New York Post, a show where we cover trends in fashion, entertainment, current events, and everything in between. This week's episode, my theme is the power of celebrating yourself, featuring my good friend, Joseph Sikora. My next guest,
Jalen.
you may know him as Tommy from the hit show Power, and he's currently working on the spin-off TV series Power, Book 4 on Stars. Please welcome my brother from another mother, my favorite graffiti artist, Joseph Sikora.
Yo, Jalen, it's good to be here, man. It's a real honor to be on a show called Renaissance Man and knowing that you believe that I fit within those parameters.
Thank you, my brother. It's all love. And you're from Chicago. People might not know this, but you have a big background in theater. What
It's
drove you
true.
towards acting?
I think I wanted to be seen and heard. I mean, kind of even just piggybacking on the graffiti thing, like that's a big thing, I think, for as an urban subculture and a form for urban kids to be heard and seen. And I think that this in the same way, a theater platform is a way to be heard and seen. And kind of also at a young age, I knew that I was interested in stories and storytelling. So I wanted to be part of that community. And I was lucky enough that there was such a huge community in Chicago of theater artists.
When did you know you were in love with it? It's something that you wanted to make a life of.
You know, at a very young age, I loved telling stories. I even told stories to my little brother to when we were kids, like when we were going to sleep, I'd make up different worlds and about, little. My dad read to us the J.R.R. Tolkien books, The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit when we were kids. So we had all these fantastical things in my head. And then also my parents, are very religious. We're a Roman Catholic family, and we still all practice. And if you read the Bible, there is some fantastical stuff in there. And my parents did read us the Bible, and we were very in touch with our Christian background. And there's some pretty amazing, beautiful stories that are in that. So I think all of those coupled together was a platform where I was just like, I want to know more about these stories. I want to make up these stories. I want to learn more about the human condition.
I love how, for entertainment purposes, but personality wise, you allow us in on things like your parents' religion and how much that means to you. And I saw that you have a petition on your Instagram bio that you're trying to stop the sale of 991 Fifth Avenue in New York City, referred to as the most vital Irish building in America. Why is this building so important to you?
Well, I think that it's so easy to sacrifice things of substance for money. And there is a place for money. And I think that in this day and age, I feel like people put money on too high of a pedestal above identity and cultural identity. And not being an Irish American, I have no Irish blood in these veins. But that building as the cultural identity of the Irish people and how much they did for New York City, building New York City, writing stories about New York City, blood, sweat, and tears into New York City, that to keep this place as a touchstone and a reminder of the plight of these people, to me, is a more important thing than, say, knocking that building down, knowing that you have another 10 stories of air rights just to sell this to multimillionaires rather than really supporting the people who made this city work and possible.
Why is it important to you to let your voice be heard? Why don't you just shut up and take your roles and make your money and focus on you and your family? Like, why is it important for you to continue to be a beacon of hope in our community?
Well, I feel like I do keep my mouth shut a lot. And part of that is because I let my voice be heard when it's important to support, especially causes that are inclusive causes, uniting people and especially people of color at this moment in time. allowing myself to be seen and heard nominally, but as an ally. But also, I think as an ally, as a white person in this country at this point, to me, it's important to say when it's appropriate to be like, yo, I'm here and I'm an ally, but I'm here and I'm here just to be here. And now it's my turn to listen and maybe not speak, but to let people know I'm here.
Absolutely. And being on a hit show like Power, there are multiple audiences that love the show. I'm curious to ask you, what is the reaction of people that come up to you that look like you and the reaction of people that come up to you that look like me?
It's different. It's funny too. It's like I was just telling my wife because we were out here in Southwest Michigan, and I'm at the grocery store, and there was a 17-year-old girl bagging groceries, and she says to me, she goes, and I have a mask on at this time. She goes, "Are you Tommy from Power?" I said, "Yeah, I'm Tommy from Power," as I play that role. And she looks around. She goes, "I've never seen the show, but I knew that was you." I was like, "What? You've never seen the show, but you knew that was you?" And it was kind of this awkwardness. Whereas it was funny. We were leaving, and I said, "It's funny because black people are just they own you more. They're like, ah, Tom, this my Tom.
You one of ours."
Yes, exactly, exactly. Whereas I think white people are a little bit more like that's a little more fearful of the character and the whole thing. And but it's the biggest award possible is to be embraced by the black community because that's the reason I have a job, and that's a reflection of that character from that community. And I think that black people also call BS pretty quick. So to know that you're getting the validation is huge, and what a compliment, man. It's moving, it's abrasive, and it's nice to have some symbiotic love going on right there.
Well, it's earned, it's well deserved. And if Power was around when the Dave Chappelle racial draft was taking place, we definitely would have picked you. No doubt about it. We definitely would have
I hope
drafted.
it crosses over to me too, because they would have definitely taken Tommy. They would have taken Tommy. I think they would take me now too. So,
how about this? As you bring up Tommy, you've been in a lot of TV appearances actually throughout the years. How does it feel to be on a show as big as Power and play a successful character like Tommy?
it feels great. I'm really enjoying doing the spinoff, and what I like the most about the Power Book 4 is that there is when we do it, it's tapping into the psychology of Tommy, what makes him think, because at the end of Power, he's essentially lost everything except his sense of self. So I think that the exciting part for me is how does a person, anybody, rebuild themselves when they have nothing? Is it possible? Are they the same person? Is this a new person? So to deal with the psychology of the character is what's most fun for me. I enjoy Tommy's fearlessness and his loyalty, his steadfast pursuit of the game, how that translates into relationships, how that translates into loss. So I think that people are going to get a lot of these answers about Tommy and what made him originally. It's almost like a flashback in real time in the present moment, because you're seeing how Tommy kind of became Tommy, but he's doing it again.
Do you get people on the street to come up to you and actually expect you to be Tommy? Like, you're nicer than I thought you would be, or stuff like that based on the character and doing so well playing that role?
Yeah, you get a lot of that. People are often like, "Oh, yo, man, you're nothing like Tommy at all." And I'm like, "Well, you can't be nothing like the character, because if you're playing it honestly, that there is some of that lives in you that you expose at the time." So I often play Tommy is a combination of a lot of things, but one is the guys I was scared of in Chicago growing up. I played that Tommy as them. And then the other big filter that a lot of people don't know, but some people have figured it out, that a lot of Tommy is based on not Kanan, but Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. I mean, listening to dozens and dozens, maybe even hundreds of hours of 50 Cent interviews, that the cadence, the word choice, the feeling, the vibe is a lot of is Fifth, because Fifth was a hustler, you know?
Yep.
And so basing the character in reality is something that's worked for me really well.
Fifth was a hustler, a stick-up kid. Like what he turned himself into an entrepreneur has just been remarkable. What is it like working with him? And is there anything in particular that you've learned from working with him, working on this show?
Yeah, to not fear talent, like guys like yourself too, Jalen, that are, you know, you could have been a street guy if that was the course, but you remain, guys like you, guys like Fifth, that remain in tune with the street, but in tune with what works. So you don't throw the baby out with the bathwater when you become a refined, stylish gentleman, like a Renaissance man like yourself. You hang on to the hustle that works, and you make it work in a positive way. And I think that Fifth has taught me to go with my gut, not sacrifice, understand my value without having to belittle anybody or put anybody else down. Fifth brings everybody up because that only makes him rise more. So when I'm on set, young actors, people that are in the crew, PAs, I try to elevate everybody because that's going to make us all rise at the same time. So that's a big lesson that I've learned from him. And the biggest lesson I think I've learned from him is I'm not afraid of talent, of other talent. I'm not afraid that a young actor is going to steal my, you know, my shine or my time.
Correct.
I'm going to keep doing me and not be
Correct.
afraid of other talent because it's only going to make me better.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things in this competitive space we have to do, put on our blinders and learn to run our own race. You know, you can't be intimidated by someone else that comes in and that's really good at their job that might be your job. If you stay focused on who you are and what you do, it'll continue to pay off like it's paying off for you. And you're currently working, as I mentioned, on the Power spinoff, Power Book 4. Force. I can't wait. We understand the Marvel universe and the DC universe. Can you explain the Power universe?
Yeah, I mean, to the best of my ability, this is really the brainchild of Courtney A. Kemp and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. But one of the things that I'm enjoying about the Power universe is that if I had to equate it to, say, the DC universe in a way, or the Marvel universe, I guess it'd be like we're kind of the top. The Force show is more like Deadpool, you know. Like hopefully there's a little bit more of the reality. It's still got the shine of those of that and the history of that, but it's a little rougher around the edges. And I think that they all have a tie back to the Power world, but Power Book 4, our world, is a different version. It's going to look different. The look is going to be different. I always say it's a different city, it's a different rules. It's the same Tommy. So you're going to get what you came for, but they're all just slightly different versions. Like Raising Kanan looks excellent as well. I can't wait to watch it because I think they capture the early 90s. And that's a period where, I mean, you were crushing it. You were everything right then, man. And so it's like, I remember it real well. So it's like, I think that they represent it well. And then with us showing Chicago, we show the racial disparity here. We tackle subjects without being on the nose about them. We show the anger that is in that city. We show the work that is in that city. I mean, the Namakers that color along with Chicago are very present. The city of big shoulders, the gem of the prairie, hog butcher to the world, the city in a garden. All of these things are represented in our show, and we show it. We show it because Tommy, you get to see it through brand new eyes. The brand new eyes of this Queens kid from, that is now in Chicago, seeing these things. So people are going to learn, and it celebrates the city in a really interesting way, I think.
So I know how much you love Chicago, and being a professional, it has us living in different places, Los Angeles, New York. We are where the checks are. But I also know you really like sports. The Chicago Bears just got a quarterback, Justin Fields. Are you excited? What do you expect?
Man, I got to tell you, it's like I learn everything from my friend Robert, who's one of the Teamsters who drives me. It's like, other than that, my head has been so focused in the game of doing this show that my sports knowledge, I can't even talk to my mother. My mother's the biggest Cubs fan, and she's always asking me this and that, and did you watch this and how the Cubbies are doing? I'm just like, Ma, I have not had a chance to tackle any sports. I haven't watched any television really, other than stuff that is doing in the show. And that's the difference between the Power Show and our show now, because I work every day, and so it's great to be a little bit more immersed in the working world, but the fans are going to love it.
And I got your back. Let me just tell you something. Justin Fields from Ohio State is who the Bears took in the first round. He's going to be the greatest quarterback in the history of your franchise. Remember, I told you that. You guys have not had a 4,000-yard passer. Y'all the only team in the league that can say that. He's going to do that worst case in his second year. I promise
you. I'll take that to the bank.
Yeah, he's a beast. And I also want to give you some congratulations, because it was announced this year that you signed a first look deal with Lionsgate TV. Congratulations on that. What can we expect from you and your production company?
Well, a starring role for Jalen Rose in something.
Let's get it. You
gotta make that happen.
Let's get it.
But my brother Albin is running the day-to-day operations out of Los Angeles. Our production company is called Black Fox Productions, and we have projects in the pipeline. So Lionsgate, if they don't take them, we are hoping that Lionsgate will take them first. But if they don't, we have there's a lot of avenues that are hungry for really great content, and that's what we're doing. Is that we're polishing and shining up some really great stories that primarily at least have something to do with Chicago, because part of our mission is to make Chicago an international city again. And part of that is you get the word out there on what an incredible place it is. We're working with a lot of Chicago storytellers, from producers to writers to directors to talent, and putting together these stories. So we have got a lot of intellectual property that is being filtered and vetted and then developed. And with my great agents over at APA, we're having some real great immediate success, and can't wait to start selling some of these stories. So thank you. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Well, you're extremely talented. I'll dust off my IMDb page. I'll get ready for whatever role I need to play. I'll get in the gym in case I got to take my shirt off. You know what I'm saying? Like Jada Kiss. But before I let you get out of here, and again, I really appreciate you taking the time. I have a set of rapid fire questions I like to do called Gone in 60 Seconds. You ready to do this, Joseph Sikora?
Yeah, I'll do my best. I'm feeling a little rusty.
It's going to be really simple. What's your favorite thing about working with LaLa Anthony?
Her consummate professionalism. She is such a pro. She knows how she looks on camera. She knows how to position herself. She knows how to tilt the glass to not reflect the light and to make sure that she looks incredible. And it's a great reminder for me that it's a visual medium. So I'm grateful that to learn from her was great.
Absolutely. She's a vet. What do you prefer, playing the villain or playing the hero?
I always play the hero, even if he does bad stuff.
Let you tell it. If you had to give the title King of Chicago, besides yourself, obviously, to one person, who would it be?
Oh my gosh. The first name, for whatever bizarre reason, flashed in my head was Ed Verdoliak, who's an old alderman there who did all of these wonderfully crooked deals to like make, he was just kind of like this embodiment of the neighborhood controlling the greater picture of the entire city. So maybe the aldermanic system of Chicago is the king.
That sounds like a documentary. And the first thing when you said alderman, I thought about Alderman Davis on Good Times and how crooked he was. And that was
there you go.
Also in Chicago, right?
Chicago, the Cabrini Greens, the red housings.
Absolutely. What do you prefer, Chicago style pizza or New York slice?
New York slice. I mean, Chicago style, you mean deep dish. I'm not a huge deep dish fan. I like Chicago pizza because I like, thin crust cut in squares. They call it either pub style or, family style or something. I enjoy the square cut, but New York pizza.
Last but certainly not least, and again, I
That's for my man,
appreciate you
Premium Pete.
Premium P, we got to come and see you, my brother. What's the proudest moment of your career so far?
I would say that the proudest moment of my career so far truly is going down to Essence Fest and walking on the stage at Essence Fest and feeling the vibration of the crowd of just appreciation for the character that 50 and Courtney and Gary Lennon created, and that I got to give life to, and being appreciated on that. Like I said before, that's the biggest award I could ever win in my life, and I want to thank every single fan that watches the show, that was at Essence Fest, that cheered me on or cheers me on when I come on the TV. I'm so grateful.
Essence Fest is legendary. I know it was a lot of stepping and a lot of hustling happening at that festival. No question about it. And you deserve that love. And I appreciate you joining me, my brother. Looking forward to catching up soon. Thank you very much.